Hello and welcome to Sincerely Elvis Presley. I'm Sean. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today. It's much appreciated. You'll have seen from the thumbnail what it is I'll be revealing today, so that's not going to be a big surprise. But it's been a bit of a surprise to me because this has been a long wait. So Wax Time announced the reissue of Elvis Rock and Roll No. 2 back around March time. And it appeared straight on Amazon UK for pre-order. I eagerly pre-ordered it and it was supposed to come out around about mid-April. And the price had dropped. So by the time I was expecting it, I think it was like £13.17. I mean, to me, a no-brainer. You know, I'm never going to really afford a nice decent copy of the original HMV press of Rock and Roll No. 2. So, you know, to get a fairly modern public domain reissue just for that cover alone, to me was great. And a £13, brilliant. But what tends to happen sometimes with Amazon is you pre-order things and then they kind of drop into a black hole. The release date or the projected release date comes and goes, and then it just says currently unavailable. You'll see various marketplace sellers offering it at stupid prices, and they'll probably never even deliver it because they probably haven't even got it in stock. So it can be a bit hit and miss, I think, sometimes with Amazon with these pre-orders. So I got fed up of waiting. I knew that the release date had been pushed out to the 9th of May, but the 9th of May came and went and it still didn't reappear on Amazon. So I gave up, cancelled that one, and ended up ordering it from Rare Waves, who I think I paid another couple of pounds. It was about £15, so it was still pretty good. Unfortunately with Rare Waves, because it's free shipping, they do sort of send it snail mail, so it's taken a while to get it. But it is here. It is here. Well, I think it's here. I could open this up and it could be some crashing disappointment. But we'll have a look, shall we? We'll have a little look. Because hopefully what I'm going to get is a nice fresh repress of Elvis's fantastic second album as issued here in the UK. So let's see what we've got here, if I can stop the old sellotape sticking to me. Here we go. Is it the correct one? It is the correct one. Okay, so there we go. Rock and Roll No. 2 in all its glory. Fantastic. 180 gram. I won't bother unsealing it because it's not coloured or anything. It is just black vinyl. But you get a fairly faithful reproduction of the original rear sleeve. Now, why did I want a copy of this? Well, it should be fairly obvious, but I'll explain. It's in terms of the original, if you see an original for sale in the sort of condition this is, £250. I believe the original sleeves of the 1957 HMV issue were fairly flimsy, so not many of them have survived in really, really nice condition. You can £100 odd probably pick yourself up. The vinyl will be decent, but it's unlikely for that kind of money that you're going to get a really, really nice condition sleeve. So it's kind of out of it for me. Now I do have this that I picked up some time ago. Now this is, I believe this is a Japanese reissue on 10-inch. Let's have a look at how our sleeves compare. Not far off. I think you've got more sort of sepia tinting going there, where they've gone with sort of black and white. But I think this one was Japanese. Now I've got two versions of this. I've got one on a frame on my wall in sort of purple marble vinyl, and this one is in a sort of green marble vinyl. Now what this does is reproduce the HMV label from the original as well. The Wax Time won't do that. You're just going to get a standard Wax Time label on it because of course there'll be copyright issues, which tends to suggest if this I'm not even sure if this was an official release of any kind. I don't think it was. It even reproduces here, reproduced by permission of the Daily Sketch. So that was the I don't even know if that was the original writing. I think it probably was, whereas this one hasn't got anything there, and of course you've got your wax time there, whereas this one produces in the corner the HMV label. So I have a feeling this is Japanese, but I'm not entirely sure, because you know they're not going to have applied for use of those logos, especially not Nipper. So anyone knows in the comments, let me know if this is a Japanese issue, because I'm not entirely sure. But you know, this to me is just, when you think of Elvis's debut album, you know, in America, the debut album and the second album were released in the same year, 56. Now, the debut album was all Elvis in full flight, you know, full attack with his guitar, the garish pink and green writing, in your face. And I think I said before in an earlier video, to me, it's probably the first punk rock album cover ever made. Now, what was interesting in the US is when they went with Elvis's second album. See, in the UK, the first album, Rock and Roll as it became known in the UK, had a slightly different track listing. Now, when it came to the second album, it always struck me as strange that you'd got this in-your-face garish colour, but in the US, the second album was almost a sort of light and dark, because you've got Elvis looking skywards very angelically. The garish font is replaced with just a standard typeface. So it's almost like you've gone from this, you know, full in your face shouty cover to a very serene kind of cover. Whereas, you know, in the UK, although the second album didn't make it out until 57 in the UK, the approach was completely different. You know, you've got, okay, it's not exactly the same font, but it's pretty similar. It's that pretty similar angular font there. All right, they've gone for white, but Elvis still looks dangerous, look. There's no serenity there. He looks mean and moody. And you've got this kind of the mustard colour, and then what they've done is they've actually, it's like a screen print. They've actually coloured the shirt in a green, because as we know, these velvet shirts, he had blue, black and red ones. But yeah, so you've got, you know, a different colour for the face and hair. Then you've got the green laid in over the shirt, and then this like mustard colour behind it. It's still, to me, a punk rock cover. It's still Elvis looking mean and dangerous, which I think is in complete contrast to the approach they took in the US. So yeah, the song listing actually on the second album in the UK is the same as the US, which wasn't the case for the first one. But yeah, I think, you know, I've paid £15 for this, which to me is an absolute bargain for a really nice reproduction of that cover, heavyweight vinyl. You have got extra tracks on this one. So if we look at the original track listing, side 1 ends with Paralysed, side 2 ends with How Do You Think I Feel. So we've got 6 tracks on each. These public domain releases put more on, so we've got basically 4 extra tracks on each side, making 10 on each side. And what they've done is a few of the tracks are actually reused from the debut album. Not all of them, but some are. But yeah, I mean, you know, anyone walking into a record shop, and these should be available in record shops. In fact, I know one of my subscribers, Julie, managed to pick hers up a couple of weeks ago in a record shop, way before I managed to get my hands on mine. But, you know, anyone walking into a record shop to pick up this album, this seminal album with this seminal cover for, what, £15 odd. I don't know what they're going to be when they're actually in a retail, because Rare Waves are a bit discounted. But, you know, even if it's under £20, compared to anything else on the racks. I think that's an absolute bargain. So yeah, I'm chuffed to bits to finally get my hand on it. I couldn't wait to come on and just open it up, although as I said, I wasn't entirely sure it was going to be the right one because it has been a journey. But here we are, Elvis Presley, Rock and Roll number 2. Absolutely fantastic. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know in the comments, have you got the original? I know quite a few people have got the original. What condition is yours in? If you haven't got the original, or even if you have, will you be picking up the reissue? What do you think of the reissue? Have you ordered it and had the same difficulty I have? Let me know in the comments what your experience is. Let me know what you think of the original album, the repress, etc., etc. But I am chuffed to bits. Let's have it up there. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. Right, that's it. Quick unboxing. I don't usually appear on a Thursday, but here I am. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can join me on Sunday when I'll be taking a look at Viva Las Vegas. Until then, have yourselves a great end of the week and weekend. Take care. Ta-da.
We'll meet you again. May God bless you. Adios.